Hi, this is the Daily Overpass. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today I want to talk about the missing publish button in Google Play. Okay, one of the things I like to talk about a lot is the process of releasing an app and then doing the ASO and everything afterwards, and all the, that process. There's so many books about development, getting the right development tools, how to code in Swift, how to code in Android or Ionic and everything like that. And most books don't actually go through like the deployment process. And I think one of the reasons is because it changes all the time, right? Once you get used to the way things work, how to deploy an app on iOS or on Android, and then and you get going, you get some momentum there, and then all of a sudden they change everything. And it's almost like if those were in a book, they'd be out of date, so often. And I can remember a few years ago when iOS came out, I think it was iOS 8, and it was such a confusing interface. And all the, you go try to find some information about it. Apple didn't have a lot at the time. They just sort of unrolled this new thing, and everyone on Twitter saying, why is everything different? But and then you go try to find stuff on YouTube, but all the YouTube tutorials were using the old version, and it was really hard. The big thing I found difficult was clicking on the plus sign and putting the build against the release. For some reason, that plus didn't look like a button to me. And anyway, but now it's automatic. You go through it all the time. But Google Play seems to have changed something. I think it's in the last few days or in the last week. I think it's been over a week since I've released anything. And then today we released two things. We released one app for a client, and we're releasing our own here. So I'm releasing Check Bubble Bath, which I've been working on, just for the last few days, and then we've also released a client app. So the client app, I get annoyed when I work with developers overseas if they're doing stuff for us and they don't seem to know how to deploy an app. Just because it feels like I'm the first one. So am I the only client you guys have, right? But it does change a lot, but it doesn't change that often. So today I was in a similar situation where I set up the Google Play page for a client, and then I said, okay, if just have a look over everything looks good to you, just click on the publish button. And then he came back saying, well, I can't find this publish button. I said, no, it's in the upper right hand corner. It just, everything's filled in. You just say click publish. And he goes, well, there's nothing there. And then, so I went and looked at it, and it's true, they moved it, they got rid of the publish button. Have a look at my screen now. So this here is Check Bubble Bath Pro. So I've been working on this today, and the reason is this one's taking so long is, I think I mentioned this before, I'm trying to localize these to different languages, and this is the first one where I spent like a lot of time today just putting together screenshots and stuff. So this is the Korean version, and then basically doing the Korean, Russian, Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese traditional, and simplified. So fill everything in, answer all the questions, do all the tick boxes, and of course we don't up in the corner here we don't have the publish button anymore. We have ready to publish, and now when you do that, if you click on that, it just says go to manage releases, and then you've got this. I know the manage release section has been there for quite a while, at least for the last few months, but I've just always ignored it. I've always just I like the idea of just going publish, and I can understand why you'd want to change that, because this has more of a feel of you're releasing something, kind of when you do it with iTunes or through iTunes Connect. It doesn't just say publishing. It says it goes through there and asks those last few questions. So when you click on, you go to manage releases, you go here, and of course you've got the production, beta, alpha, and they're kind of mixing things around. If you go into the APK section here, what it tells you is that they're starting to phase this page out. So I guess things are going to be changing here quite a lot. But if I go into manage releases, the nice thing about manage releases, this is something I found. We had an app where we released an app that the developer had left, and he hadn't checked anything in the source code, so all the image assets were gone. And I know that I could take an APK and change the file association to .zip, and then just open it, and then at least I could get access to those non-compiled image assets, which is good. I mean, and one of the nice things about the managed releases is I could go into the artifact library here, and you can actually download those APKs if they're your own. Because I was trying to do all kinds of stuff like all these dodgy ways of downloading my own APK from the Play Store. But yeah, so that's something. So now they got this new release section here. So production. I'd be interested, how many of you guys are actually using beta and alpha? It's something I know that I should be using, but I don't really have I don't have enough friends to use beta and alpha. So I always just go to production. So you go here to production and resume, and then you just go through here. You can upload the APK. Of course, we already have an APK here. What's new in this release? I don't have anything because it's version 1. This is kind of weird that they're asking you what's new when it's the first release. And then down here you click on review. And then you got your little thing there saying yeah, and you go start rollout, and then just to be sure it says it'll start showing up on the Play Store, and you click confirm, and now it goes to the pending release. So it's a little bit, it's a minor change, but I found it to be a bit confusing, and so with the client he was saying everything's different, so I had to go in and check it myself. And again, the rollout process, or the release process for both iTunes and for Google Play is always changing. I bet when iOS 11 comes out, they'll make these minor changes on iTunes Connect too. And anyway, that was it. I just saw that today, and I thought I'd just show this to you. I don't think it's been there very long. You guys, may have noticed it before I have, but we are putting out releases all the time, and I'm surprised I haven't noticed it up until now. So anyway, that's it for today. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.